was going to join, I sat down and I looked at all the different parties. So we had the Conservative Party, the Liberal Democrats, the Labour Party, the Cooperative Party. I always say being a woman in politics is tough. Being a woman of color is tough. I stay focused on my goals. When the distractions come, I have mentors. I served as the Black and Asian Minority Ethnic Officer. I served as a woman officer for my constituency. I have people I go to talk to when the days are tough, because the days are tough, the barriers are there and you will feel it.
Welcome to Africa in Diaspora podcast, the show where we explore issues that shape our communities and drive meaningful conversation among those who are living in diaspora in the United Kingdom and across the world. I am your host, and my name is Dr. Olushola Adebrode Kolawole, popularly known as Dr. Hook. And today we are going to be diving into an important discussion, and we're going to be looking at diaspora and local politics. We're going to be examining some specific questions on how you can participate in the local politics wherever you live in the United Kingdom specifically. And we're going to be looking at specific role of representation and how you can be part of engagement within the local politics. The first question I've got here is, who is the Lord Mayor, Abigail Marshall? If you can just tell us about yourself.
Okay, so Abigail Marshall Ketung is, of course, that's my full name. I was born in Zaria, Nigeria. Had my first degree in Ahmadu Bello University.
Wow.
I studied business education, majored
great.
in marketing.
Wow.
Second child of 6 siblings.
Wow.
Of a lovely father who's late, unfortunately, sadly, but my
May
mother
so
is
rest
still
in peace.
Amen. And my mother's still alive, and that's who I am in terms of I'm a wife. Also got a mother. I've got twin boys, and
Wow.
yes,
Wow.
that's who I am.
Thank you. So you're moving to the UK. What year will that be now?
2000.
That's about
25 years.
25 years ago.
Yeah.
And you came in as a student
As
or
an international student at the
international
University
student?
of Leeds.
Wow, wow. So you've been in Leeds for
The last 25
the
years.
last 25 years.
That's
a
correct.
lot.
Yeah.
So before you come into the politics, what have you been doing?
So before I came into as soon as I graduated, I got a graduate job with the telecoms industry. It used to be called BT Cellnet, for those who remember back in the years, which is now O2. So I was a graduate manager there and working on the technical network,
Wow.
supporting O2 Phones for You as well. And it was a great job making me travel up and down the country. And then as life goes on, my twin children were born. And as soon as my twin children were born, it was really difficult having to work and care for them, because early years they were not they were quite poorly, they were ill. But as the years went by, I had to give up my graduate job to look after the
twins.
boys. And whilst looking after them, I was just bored, and I decided to start my own business.
Wow.
So in 2006, when the boys were about 2 years old, I started a medical recruitment agency, and I had that for 14 years before.
Medical recruitment agency here in the
Leeds.
city of
That's
Leeds.
correct.
Oh,
in Leeds,
that's
yeah.
great.
So I specialized in dentists, nurses, healthcare assistants before I went into politics.
So now, when I look at your experience in telecommunication and look at the business, they don't have any correlation.
Well, they do, because they're all businesses.
Yes,
So,
except from that.
I studied business.
But with what you do in both, they are not the same. So what inspired you to move into that business?
So what inspired me into medical recruitment was because I had to be at home. I was looking for something I could do whilst looking after my children. And I just went online and I Googled working from home, jobs working from home. And this is back in the years you're looking at, And I saw recruitment consultants needed, and I applied for it. But they said they will train you, they will provide you with back office support, but they will take 60% of your income.
Wow.
and you will take 40%. But for me, and as a young mom at that time, I felt, right, at least I will still be doing something. And it was going to
So
give me the
you don't mind.
flexibility,
You don't
yes,
mind.
of caring for my children as well as I was still able to earn. So they said it will be recruitment consultancy, but you could choose whatever in terms of specialty for recruitment. And I sat down and I thought, medical, that's because doctors and nurses, no matter the recession in any part of the world, they will always be needed. There will always be a demand. And that's why I went for medical.
Well, thank you so very much. So you've got that background in terms of entrepreneurial.
Absolutely.
Here in the city of Leeds.
Yes.
And we appreciate you for that, ma'am. So let's come back to politics.
Yes.
Why are you a politician in the United Kingdom?
In the United Kingdom.
I'm coming also, man. Not just in the United Kingdom, in the city of Leeds. So can you share your experience?
Yes. So because Leeds became my second home, when I graduated, I loved the city so much that I decided to stay back. And I studied politics at master's level, politics and international studies, specialized in development studies. So you can understand why I was so interested in politics. And it was for me all about the community. It was all about service. My late father used to say to me that you educate to serve, and service and community development was was something I was really passionate about. Advocacy was something I was very, very passionate about. So I knew I was going to end up being a politician at some point. So it wasn't a surprise when I went into politics after so many years of my life. But I would have gone into it much earlier in terms of frontline. But like I said, my children were very, very young, and I needed to be a present parent for them until they were grown before I threw myself into frontline politics.
Thank you for sharing that with us. Lord Mayor, I want to know, aside from you studied politics at the master's level.
Yes.
Are there anything that inspire you, to join politics, especially not in your home country, in a foreign land, as a diasporan?
Yes.
What was that thing that inspired you? That's one. Secondly, can you tell us, when did you join politics? What year, and how far have you been able to move?
Okay, so advocacy and policy making is one of the things I would say drove me into politics, because politics gives you that platform and influence to make the changes that you would like to see. So it's okay for us to keep saying this is not good and that is not good. Why can't we have this policy and that policy? But when you're not sat around that table to make the policies were made for you. But I wanted to be a woman where policies are made with me. So sitting around that table, politics gives you the
opportunity.
That's correct, that opportunity. And that's, I would say, that is one of the main things. And it's all about service and serving people. Because politics, again, you have to remember, is about people. That drove me to putting myself forward as a politician to serve the people. So I joined a political party in 2010. And
2010, that's about 15 years ago.
That's correct, yes.
Wow.
But I never put myself in frontline politics. My kids were very young. But I was a woman in the room in terms of I was serving in other capacities. So I served as the Black and Asian minority ethnic officer. I served as a woman officer for my constituency. I served as a constituency chair for my constituency Labour Party as well. So I was doing a lot of campaigning for others whilst I was looking after my young children and working. And then until the kids grew, then I put myself for frontline politics.
Thank you so much, Lord Mayor. Now, we would like to also know, what are the step-by-step by which you can join politics here in the United Kingdom, as well as those from United States of America, Germany? How can we be part of the policy maker through politics?
So politics is a great platform for anyone who wants to start on in politics. Grassroots politics is very, very important. I always advise people, join a political party.
I remember you asked me
That's right.
few months ago, have you joined? I said no.
Absolutely. find a political party that resonates with your values, your ethics, and what means the most to you. So when I was going to join, I sat down and I looked at all the different parties. So we had the Conservative Party, the Liberal Democrats, the Labour Party, the Cooperative Party, and I found my voice within the Labour and Cooperative Party, and I joined them because it was all for me. It was all about social justice, socialism. It was about people and things that mattered the most. Their values and their policies resonated with me. So I would always say to people, you must join a party, and once you join a party, you will have a branch. Once you have a branch, then you have somewhere that you can now start your advocacy, you can start your activism, you can start your campaigns, and they can help you through the ranks. So whilst I joined the Labour Party, I was blessed to have mentors. I was blessed to be put through lots of different trainings in leadership, training to be a councillor, training to be a member of parliament. There are so many.
We have so many opportunities,
Absolutely.
even within the political parties.
Within the political, but you need to join them first to be able to have access to that.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So the first step for all our viewers, the audience, is you need to become a member of political party.
Absolutely.
And the political party should resonate with your value, your core value. And that is what you've done with the Labour Party.
Absolutely.
Now, let's come back to you serving as the Lord Mayor of Leeds. Can you tell us the journey?
Yes.
And what are your key responsibilities as the Lord Mayor?
So the role of a Lord Mayor is to normally run full civic functions for the city, Remembrance Sundays, any civic function that is in the city, you would see me there carrying out that role. Milestones, celebrations, being an advocate for every single one in the city. As a councillor, you're only connected to your ward and you're looking after your ward, but as Lord Mayor, it's the entire city. Making sure your ambassadorial role is to the best that you can offer, both nationally and internationally. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, let's also come back to, you are the first black woman, black woman in the UK politics, especially in the city of Leeds. What are the challenges?
Not the first black woman, the first African.
African, sorry.
Yes.
African, thank you for that correction. So how have you been able to manage it? You are the 130 Lord Mayor, 130 Lord Mayor in Leeds. So what are the challenges that you face before you get to that position?
Yeah, so like many women of African descent, the barriers are there, including the unconscious bias. You have that. You also have the underestimation of what you're able to do. You also have the outright exclusion as well. And I always say being a woman in politics is tough. Being a woman of color is tougher. Yeah. But we have an inbuilt resilience, I always say. And that keeps us going. I stay focused on my goals. When the distractions come, I have mentors. I have people I go to talk to when the days are tough, because the days are tough. The barriers are there and you will feel it. And sometimes you have to just develop that thick skin to overcome these barriers, because for me, it's not just for me, but for those coming after me. I want to make sure that the road would be a lot clearer and simpler than the road I'm treading upon now. But yes, the barriers are there. There's no two ways about it. But I make sure I'm not walking on my own. I am with others. I am with people who would guide me, who would speak to, who would help me through my journey, because it's not easy. You have the glaring exclusions sometimes, but I do not look at my color as a barrier or my race. I can choose my nationality, but I can't choose my race. So for me, my race is who I am, and I'm very proud to be a black woman, and I'll make sure that my blackness brings positivity and not negativity.
Thank you. Now, Lord Mayor, you've not touched based on some of the challenges that you face, and I think our audience will want to know, especially in that room on that day. I think that should be January 2023 when you were elected as the Lord Mayor. How were you able to navigate all the other ethnic minority group and those who are also the white, the Caucasian? How were you able to navigate it and you were able to be elected as the Lord Mayor. Do you want to share more light on that?
Sure. So, like I said about my blackness, diversity is a fact. Inclusion is what's a choice. Okay. So, who I am is who I am.
Yeah.
And I have grown up for the fact that I have left my country of birth and I have come to a country very different from mine. I have learned to integrate. And I always say to lots of people, especially when you're coming into politics, inclusion is so important in all that you do. Making sure representation matters. So you are a representative of everyone. If we look at our equal opportunities, you're making sure that you're the voice to those, whether your religion, your creed, your race. I put that beside me and I focus on what's most important to the human race, because there's just one of it. There's just that one human race. So yes, I am in a position where I am the minority. I am in a role where I am the minority, but at the end of the day, I've got a job to do, and there are so many people who also look like me. And because representation matters, I know how important it is for me to stand tall, because I know I inspire a lot of people just seeing me there, knowing that somebody who looks like them is there making the decisions on their behalf. It's a lot of hard work, but it's got to be done.
Yeah, the Lord Mayor, you did mention something that I think is very important, which our people, they don't understand, especially the African community, is about integration. We've got a lot of people who are living in the United Kingdom, but they are still living as if they are in their home country.
That's right.
They still have that behavior, they still have that character. And I think integration is very important. And that is what has helped you in all ramifications. We should learn how to integrate and be part of the community where we are at the moment.
And also throw yourself into service. Join community groups, join civic groups, be a governor at schools, be board members.
Volunteering.
Were
you being paid in all those
no,
things?
No, not at all, but it's paid off today.
Yeah, we have a lot of people, they don't want to do anything for free.
Exactly.
They want to get money.
That's right.
They will be asking, what can I get? If I'm not getting anything, I'm not doing anything. But look at you today.
Absolutely.
All those things, they've really paid off for
right.
you. Thank you, the Lord Mayor. Now, let's now come back to our own people. Many of the African in diaspora, they felt disconnected, from the local politics. They prefer to do their 12-hour shifts, go to their workplace, come back and sleep. They don't have life outside their work. So what kind of advice do you want to give them? What has really helped you to be where you are today?
So I am aware that a lot of our people are disengaged, and I think they are disengaged because they haven't taken the time to understand local governance. And I say, if they take the time to understand what local governance means, then they will pay more attention. Some of them are just, like you said, it's just about their own employment, their own education, but governance is more than that. Politics is more than that. And I say to a lot of people who say, I'm not interested in politics, but I say everything that affects you is a decision made by is policies that are made by politicians. So you need to have some level of connection with politicians, and that's why I always say to people, try and join civic organization, try and join board groups, because from there you start understanding how the political sphere works. Join a political party, to even if you don't want to put yourself forward for any political position, but just to be around that table, knowing and hearing how decisions are being made. That will now empower you more. Lots of times, I think even us as local government leaders, we are waiting for the communities to come to us. I think also we reaching out to people and creating that environment for learning in terms of local government governance will be very, very beneficial to people who are discouraged and feel disengaged with politics. But I would always encourage people, yes, working 9 to 5 is great, working 24 hours is great, but pay attention to voluntary services, pay attention to boards, organizations across the voluntary sector that will give you a completely different perspective to local governance.
Thank you. Thank you for that response, the Lord Mayor. I'm aware that a lot of our people, sometimes they want to jump the gun. They need to start from the grassroots. your children's school be part of what is going on. Attend meetings.
Absolutely.
Within the community, we've got a lot of people. I'm privileged to be the president of Nigerian community in Bradford. And I do listen to people, I don't want to be part of that association. And that is where the local politics start from.
That's right.
I am aware that you are also an active member of the Nigerian community here in Leeds as well. Not only Nigerian community, even the African community. And I would like you to tell us the story of how you were able to bring all the African communities together, because I'm aware that you got like a foundation, if I'm correct, a trust, that brings all the African communities together. Is this something that you can share with us, if you can also learn from that?
Yes. So when I was talking about my roles as Lord Mayor, part of my roles as well is community cohesion, bringing lots of communities together. But the Leeds African Community Trust, that came in 2019, just shortly after I became a councillor. So being the first African, all of a sudden, the Gambian community will come to me for this, the Nigerian community, the Sierra Leone community. So, I mean, we're a continent of 54 nations. 54. And I thought, how wonderful it will be if all of us could come together and work together, because I looked at the whole thing and I said, you know what? We all look the same. Yeah. Nobody cares whether you're from Sierra Leone or you're from Nigeria or you're from Ghana. All blacks. We're all blacks and we all look the same. I said, but you know what will make us different is when we work together, because we will be stronger together. And at that time, there was the xenophobia attacks, if you remember, in 2019 in South Africa. Yeah, in South Africa. Where Nigerians and Zimbabweans were being targeted and killed. So Zimbabweans came to me at the time, and Nigerians, and we decided to have a mini protest at full council, so that we could let the government intervene for, those who were being killed, and, get through to our members of parliament to say, something needs to happen. This killing of Nigerians and Zimbabweans is just needs to stop. Yeah. And it was that meeting, and I looked around the room that day. We had lots of other Africans in the room from different countries, and I thought, why don't you all, because you have an African councillor, but it's very difficult for me to operate with all these different countries. But if you come under one umbrella, have a proper legal status, make a case, think of projects, think of making a difference within the city. And honestly, they were so happy. That was how we started. Wow. Shortly after they all came together, we went into lockdown. And when we went into lockdown, obviously lots of people who were struggling, especially not even having food, because we had lots of citizens in the city and residents who did not have any recourse to public funds. They were working on 0 hours, and all of a sudden everything stopped. And they were coming to me for food. And they were saying, well, the council is giving us food, but we can't eat the food that they're giving to us. We don't eat pork in a tin and sauce, all of those things. And that was when we thought, you know what? Food is a very important part of our culture. And we thought about a multicultural food hub. And we were the first to open a multicultural food hub in the city. Wow. And today we have so many others where we were looking after diverse communities and making sure food was affordable, accessible, and most importantly, nutritional. And these are different African countries, and now we have gone beyond just Africa, Asia, Europe, and just making sure food is as diverse.
The Lord Mayor, immigration is something that I believe is discouraging the black people to join politics. Is it compulsory? Is it compulsory for me to have been settled? That is, got my ILR, for example, or British passport before I can join a political party?
No, you don't. So far you reside in the United Kingdom legally, you can join a political party. But if you're going to stand for office, you have to be a citizen of the United Kingdom.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that, because I remember when I was doing my PhD at the University of Bradford, I joined Labour Party.
That's right.
I just cancelled it.
Right. No, but you can
towards
join,
the end.
I know. You can be a member of the political party, but when you're going to stand for office,
you have to be a citizen.
That's correct.
Is there any cost to become a member of?
You only pay your monthly dues as a
Okay.
member. That's all. But there's no additional cost.
Oh, so you have to pay.
That's
Do you
right.
have?
It's
You have got
for the
any
Labour
idea?
Party. I can only speak for my party. For the Labour Party, is about £6 a month.
A month.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
just over £60
And I
for
believe
a
that
year.
should not discourage people not to
Absolutely
join.
shouldn't. For what you gain, I told you earlier on about the trainings that you receive, the political trainings that you receive, especially if you're interested in standing for office. That is priceless, and that is done once you become a member.
The Lord Mayor, before you leave, will it be safe for us to run to you as a mentor, and our audience who want to come into politics to come to you for advice? I know your door is always open, but I want to hear that from you.
Absolutely. I have been mentoring for a long time now. I have lots of people that I mentor in politics, give them advice, just like I have mentors myself, because on your own, you can only go so
You
far.
can, yeah,
so I have a pool of
yeah,
people who each day I'm able to speak to. When I'm down, when I need clarity on so many things, I'm able to speak to them. And yes, I am open. I told a lot of people in my mayoral year, I reduced a lot of my mentoring because I haven't got that time due to the nature of the job. But I am almost done. So I'll finish in May. And once I'm done in May, I normally take about 12 mentees every year.
Wow.
Yes,
wow,
so I take
wow.
6 from Nigeria and 6 from the UK.
Wow.
Mentoring them yearly, and I've been doing that for the last 6 to 7 years now.
I am aware your husband is also a senator in
That's
Nigeria.
Right. Yeah.
So the politics is already in the house,
In
even
the
before you
family.
became
That's
the
right.
Lord Mayor.
Yeah.
Thank you, the Lord Mayor.
Thank
And before you leave, the last thing you want to say to our people, what would be your advice to the Black community about politics?
So to those who are interested in politics and reside here in the UK, do not be afraid. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. Always make sure you learn. Never stop learning. Even at the level I am now, I am always learning. Make sure you have mentors. Do not be afraid to register and get into a political party if you're interested in politics. But if you're not interested in politics, whatever discipline you find yourself, determination and hard work will be the key to your success.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. This has been an inspiring and thought-provoking conversation we've had today. Your leadership and commitment will inspire a lot of Black community to join the local politics. Thank you so very much for your time. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and give us a review. And tell us what we can do better as well on this show. In fact, as I speak now, click on that button and subscribe and like. Share with your family and friends who are living in diaspora. And not only that, follow us on all our social media. Be part of what we do. This is our own social enterprises as well. Be part of us. We are looking for volunteers across the United Kingdom. If you want to be part of us, please go to www.abfb.co.uk. Until next time, keep the dialogue going and stay engaged in the issue that matter more. I am truly yours, Dr. Olushola Adebrode Kolawole, known as Dr. Hook, and see you next time.